Hey everyone, how's it going? So today's video, I'm going to try to use the Pokemon that is currently used in the any % glitchless run in Red and Blue, aka the most competitive world record category for this game. But I don't know if Nidoking will be as good. The reason is that Nidoking in the speedrun uses the cheapness of battle items. They use X speed to make sure it's fast enough, and X accuracy to make sure that Horn Drill hits every single time. We can't do that. In fact, we're not going to use Horn Drill whatsoever. Because in my runs, we aren't allowed to use items in battle, we're going to have to rely on Nidoking's, well, it does have pretty good stats, and it has an exceptional move pool, which is another reason it's used in the speedrun. But will it be able to beat the titans of Alakazam, Blastoise, or definitely not Mewtwo? There's really only one way to find out. Now, the first obstacle Nidoking will face is Brock. And in the speedrun, Nidoking doesn't face Brock. In fact, you can't even get a Nidoking before Brock without a glitch that will let you catch a level 100 Nidoking, but that's not allowed since we don't allow glitches. Anyway, our Nidoking starts with 4 moves: Horn Attack, Thrash, Tackle, and Poison Sting. 3 of those moves are normal moves, and 1 of them is a weak poison move. That's not great for Brock. I'm going to battle all the bug catchers in Viridian Forest. And like with the starter Pokemon, because Nidoking is in the medium slow group, aka the level up really fast early group, it's going to be at level 11 by the time we get to the junior trainer, who I am going to battle because I don't believe we're going to beat Brock so easily. Now, this is a good time to talk about how Thrash works. In this game, it is base 90 power, so it's actually more powerful than Body Slam, and it's 100% accurate, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, there's a really significant drawback to using it. Thrash lasts between 3 and 4 turns, so we don't need to worry about running out of power points. However, after those 3 to 4 turns, Nidoking will be confused. It's like a discount version of the move Outrage, which would come into existence in Generation 2. So because of that, we have to rely on Horn Attack, which is only base 65 power. And unfortunately, it doesn't go all that well. Unlike Snorlax, which was normal type and using Headbutt, Horn Attack from Nidoking, especially after some defense curls, doesn't do that well. Now, we are liable to get crits about 15% of the time or so, but it's not nearly enough, and Geodude is easily able to knock me out. So that's looking pretty bad. Now, I was hoping it might just be bad luck, but nah, there's really very little we can do here. Unfortunately, being stuck with Horn Attack at level 12, we take too much damage, we don't deal enough damage, and not only are we not winning this battle, we haven't even made it to Onix yet. There's really only one thing to do at this point, which is to go back into the forest and level up a little bit more. Unlike with pre-evolved Pokemon, 1 more level does make a really big difference with powerful Pokemon like Nidoking, so maybe level 13 will be the trick. Well, I have good news and I have bad news. Actually, I have 2 pieces of good news. The first is that we're only down about 6 minutes to what a Pokemon that would beat Brock easily. So that's not super bad. The other piece of good news, we make it to Onix. The bad news, Onix is looking pretty tough. I try to get a poison on it because that will force Brock to use a full heal. But the one thing we don't want to see from Onix is Screech, because then it can use Tackle and then it can knock me out. So, are we going to have to level up more? Well, I do want to try just one more time. We're going to go for Horn Attack against Geodude. We can't really risk going for Thrash, because although it'll knock out Geodude quicker... Oh, that was a nice crit. Oh, another nice crit. Okay. So we're at over half HP for Onix. When it goes for Bide, we go for Poison Sting. We haven't gotten a single Poison Sting, and there's the first Screech. Another crit is good. After 2 Poison Stings, it only deals 4 damage in Bide, so it's not a bad idea to just switch up for Poison Sting. We're getting a lot of critical hits, and One more bide, we might be within knockout range. All right, I got to go for Thrash here. Screech misses, and bide! We win! That's good. Very, very lucky victory. Gotta be honest with you. So far, not just in comparison to Blastoise, but the other two starters, Nidoking has had the worst time. But hopefully, with Thrash and the plethora of moves it can learn, things will go a little bit easier. Of course, Nidoking is ground type, so battling Misty next would be a big mistake. Instead, I'm going to go battle Rival 2. Again, I can't risk hitting myself in confusion, so I go for Horn Attack. It does about a third, and Sand Attack misses. It then goes for Quick Attack, and I go for Thrash to knock it out, but it survives, and thankfully doesn't go for Sand Attack. So now we'll knock out Abra. I level up, but I'm confused. I'm just going to go for Thrash. We don't hit ourselves in confusion and knock out Rattata. Now out comes Squirtle, but we do hit ourselves in confusion. It goes for Tackle. I go for Thrash, and thankfully, we snap out of confusion and knock out Squirtle. Not the cleanest battle, but an easy battle, and one of the last where we have to rely on Thrash, because once we get done with routes 24 and 25, we will eventually get Body Slam. But before we can do that, I do need to battle Misty. I've talked about this in other videos, but delaying Misty is pretty annoying, because without Misty, you can't use Cut outside of battle, meaning you can't battle Surge, meaning you don't have Fly, meaning you have to walk back to Vermilion, meaning time loss. So, hopefully with all the levels we gain here, we'll be able to beat Misty. And remember how I said I don't have to rely on Thrash anymore? Well, yeah, I'm going to use Thrash. One-shot Staryu, Starmie outspeeds, goes for Water Gun, X-Defend. We don't knock Starmie out, and it didn't last 4 turns, so we're confused. Thankfully, we get Water Gun and not Bubble Beam, and thankfully, we don't hit ourselves in confusion. So that's the second consecutive battle I would consider to be pretty lucky. But now that we've finally defeated Misty, that was difficult to say, I can make my way to the SS Anne, and now that we have Body Slam, we can battle Rival 3. Unfortunately, Body Slam is weaker than Thrash, and we get a Gen 1 miss. Thankfully, Pidgeotto goes for Gust, but Body Slam doesn't knock out Pidgeotto where Thrash might have. So that kind of sucks. Next comes out Raticate. I go for Body Slam. It hits me first with Quick Attack. We do knock it out. We will easily knock out Kadabra, and now out comes Wartortle. It's pretty bulky. I'm just going to go for Thrash. It doesn't knock it out, but Wartortle just goes for Bubble. So that battle wasn't too bad, and as we get cut, I'm going to answer a couple questions you guys probably have at this point, or maybe don't. Question number 1. Why didn't you teach Dig? Answer. Nidoking, of all the moves it can learn, can't learn Dig. Makes no sense, but it's true. Question number 2. Why didn't you teach Mega Punch? Answer. I considered it, but Thrash is stronger, and Mega Punch misses too much. So I figured it wasn't worth it. Was I wrong? I don't think so. But even if you think I was wrong about that, what I won't be wrong about is how easy Lieutenant Surge is going to be, because his best moves are electric moves, and I'm a ground Pokemon. Alright, so leads with Voltorb, we're going to go for Body Slam, and we one-shot. Pikachu, I go for Thrash, it actually goes for Quick Attack, so it outspeeds, but we knock it out. Raichu, however, we actually don't knock it out. It goes for Growl, but the very next Thrash does knock it out. Not a big deal, not a big deal at all. And with beating Lieutenant Surge, we now have access to Bubble Beam for Rock Pokemon. We have access to Thunderbolt for those Slowpoke in Rock Tunnel. So there's really very little to say about Rock Tunnel, and let's skip ahead. Giovanni number 1 should be fairly easy. We have Bubble Beam, we knock out Onix. We have Bubble Beam, we knock out Rhyhorn. And I go for Thrash. It's going to be a 3-hit KO, but Thrash lasts at least 3 turns, and our defense is pretty darn good, so Kangaskhan doesn't do that much to us. And that is a pretty easy victory. Now we can go shopping. I'm going to buy proteins as opposed to calciums, and the biggest reason is that we will primarily be using our attacking moves, but I also eventually am going to pick up TM13 for Ice Beam and TM48 for Rock Slide, and with those 2 moves, I'm ready to battle Rival 4. So he leads with Pidgeotto and I decide to go for Rock Slide. It's a little less accurate, but my attack is higher than my special, so I knock it out in one hit. I go for Rock Slide against Growlithe. Execute, I go for Ice Beam. Don't forget, I don't have Earthquake yet. I go for Rock Slide against Kadabra, I actually meant to go for Body Slam. And I go for Thunderbolt against Wartortle, and that was pretty easy. Okay, so now we can use Rock Slide to easily defeat the Channelers, which is pretty cool. But I'm going to have to make a choice here. Like always, do I go beat Koga? Do I go to Silph Company? Well, this time I pretty much knew the answer. It was going to be neither. Because it's time to battle Erica, who I again, while scripting this, forgot about. But don't worry, I had good reason to forget about her battle. It was pretty forgettable. I go for Ice Beam. Victory Bell isn't a one-shot, and I'm out of Ice Beams. Thankfully, it misses with Sleep Powder after I missed with Rock Slide. So that was lucky, I knock it out. Tangle, I go for Ice Beam, I knock it out. Now Vileplume's gonna be a 2-hit KO, and it puts me to sleep. And it looks like Petal Dance is gonna knock me out, but I wake up. Oh, it is, because it crit. Well, that sucked. Anyway, I have an Ether I pick up just in case something like this is to happen. And I never use that Ether, but I will right now. And with it, I can use Ice Beam, Razor Leaf, I'm at 81 HP. I can also heal. I'm level 37, Ice Beam one-shots Tangela. And now Ice Beam, oh, crit. Okay, fine. So, second try victory, that was really silly. But now after defeating Erica and gaining those useful experience points, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to go to Silph Company first. The reason I'm going to go to Silph Company is that on the 10th floor, I will have to battle one extra trainer, but my reward is TM26 Earthquake, a base 100 power, same type attacking move. Now, I will try Rival Fivel, but I don't think I can beat him. We'll see. He leads with Pidgeot, and Ice Beam doesn't one-shot. Maybe Rock Slide would have, probably not. Unfortunately, because I use Sand Attack, I do miss on the first Earthquake. Thankfully, Growlithe also misses, but we knock it out with the second Earthquake. Now, I need to knock out Execute, and I don't. It hits with Leech Seed. Honestly, none of this is a big deal, because Alakazam outspeeds and hits with Psybeam. We do knock it out in one hit, which is good, but Blastoise, I go for Thunderbolt, it goes for Bubble. You know what? I could actually maybe win. I'm going to try this again. It does just know Bubble and Water Gun. Unfortunately, in this next attempt, I lose way more HP, so Alakazam is able to knock me out with a critical hit Confusion. Now, I think about what my next move is going to be, but I know for a fact it's going to be way easier to defeat Rival Fivel if I battle Koga first. The reason being, after I defeat Koga, I'll get a 12.5% boost in speed, which likely means I'll outspeed Alakazam, and therefore I don't have to worry about any of this. So at the risk of losing a little bit of time, I do just that. Earthquake against Coughing, 1-hit KO. Earthquake against Muck, 1-hit KO. Earthquake against other Coughing, 1-hit KO. And Earthquake against Wheezing, oh, no 1-hit KO, self-destruct! We win anyway, okay. That went a little differently than I thought it would, but we still won, so I'm not going to complain, and now that we have Koga's badge, Rival Fivel should be a heck of a lot easier. Now, a good test is whether we outspeed Pidgeot. We do, we don't one-shot, but Wing Attack is fine. Growlithe, we one-shot with Earthquake. We should one-shot Execute now, and we do. We level up, we outspeed Alakazam, and now we just have to use 2 Thunderbolts. Withdraw is fine. So that was much easier as I said it would be. And we can go and beat Giovanni rather quickly. I usually have some monologue at this part, trying to tie the beginning, middle, and end of the run together. But really, all I have to say is that you can really see the difference between a speed run and a challenge solo run. Without items, Nidoking is still really good, but it's not nearly as good as it is in the speedrun. Not having that guaranteed 1-hit KO with Horn Drill is really, really rough some of the time. I mean, look at Wheezing. Obviously, speedrunners know every range, every damage combination, and they're going to use the perfect move. For me, I'm kind of just trying to figure this out. Of course, I'm at a different level than they are, and I'm using slightly different moves. But we're still doing pretty well for ourselves, And after picking up some more items in Silph Company, I'm gonna head to Cinnabar Island and battle Blaine first, just because Blaine's gonna be a heck of a lot easier than Sabrina. This should be a 4-turn victory, but let's see. Alright, turn 1, he sends out Growlithe. We use Earthquake. That's 1 turn. We level up, that's fine. 2 turns. Rapidash. 3 turns. Arcanine. 4-turn victory. That's pretty good. And after that, I don't think Sabrina will be all that bad. There's only one way to find out, but I have a good feeling. Okay, so I think we're gonna outspeed. We do. 1-shot Kadabra. 1-shot Mr. Mime. Don't know about Venomoth. Okay, this should be good. Do we outspeed? All right, we outspeed anyway. Now, there is one thing that comes up. I always mention it, but unfortunately, the super effective, not very effective messages can be buggy. Basically, if you ever are super effective against one type, poison, but not very effective against the other, grass, it just picks one of the messages. So it was just doing normal damage, but it said super effective. That messed me up as a kid a lot. Thankfully, the Pokemon Stadium games, which I do want to make videos on, and Gold and Silver fixed that. Anyway, only one gym leader left. I'm not going to pretend like this is going to be difficult. It won't. So let's go beat Giovanni real quick. Alright, Rhyhorn, we're going to use Ice Beam. We knock him out. 1 down. Next comes out Dugtrio. We might not outspeed. Oh, we do. That's great. 2 down. We level up. We're going to use Earthquake against both Nidoqueen and Nidoking. But instead of talking about Rhydon, can we just acknowledge how great the color scheme looks? What excellent work in post-processing to make the purple look just right. Masterful job. Actually, that's not AJ, that's me. I do that. That's like the one thing I do still. And the music. I don't make the music. I just put the songs in the right spots. I don't know how to make music. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling because it's time to beat Rival 6. And things are going pretty well. Will Rival 6 put a stop to that? Probably not. Leads with Pidgeot, and it can only go for agility because we're poison type, so we easily knock it out. Rhyhorn, we go for Ice Beam, knock it out. Growlithe, we go for Earthquake, knock it out. Ice Beam on Execute, knock it out. Alakazam, oh, it outspeeds us and goes for Reflect. Then it goes for... Oh, no. Huh. Well, it was a crit. It was a crit. So we're just going to try that again. No worries. Everything's great. All right. Ice Beam. Pidgeot uses Agility. We knock it out. We level up. Rhyhorn. We use Ice Beam. We knock it out. Earthquake. Very good. Ice Beam. Nice. Oh, what? What? Oh, no. Well, that's not nice at all. How many experience points till I level up? What do I do? All right. I can try a 3rd time. I mean, it's gotten crits 2 times in a row. Okay. Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt. 1 down. We level up. Earthquake. Still knocks it out. Knocks out Growlithe as well. Ice Beam, please. Okay, 1-shots. It's a range. And now... Come on! What's going on? Oh my gosh. You know what? I think it's like 200 experience points. I can just go into the grass by Fuchsia. Just battle something. All right, this Eradicate will be fine. Earthquake. Okay, so now we're at level 47. And we have a ton of rare candies. So I'm just going to head back to Rival 6. Use all the rare candies now. There's still one I'm going to pick up in Victory Road, but as you notice, we're not using Badge Boost glitch, so it really doesn't matter too much. Anyway, now Ice Beam's going to 1-shot Pidgeot. We're going to use Ice Beam to 1-shot Rhyhorn. Earthquake 1-shots Growlithe. Of course, Ice Beam is going to 1-shot Execute. Now, we accidentally hit the items menu, but we do outspeed and 1-shot Alakazam. We go for Thunderbolt, withdraw. So the only mistake of the battle was accidentally opening the items menu, but that's a-okay. And we defeat the ledge boss, but do we defeat the door boss? You know what? I'm going to call that a victory too. Moving at 4 times speed is really, really difficult, which is why I don't use the bicycle. But we've used all our rare candies. There are trainers in Victory Road that I'm going to skip. I think we should be good, but I don't know. There are still some scary Pokemon. Let's find out. All right, well, Loralee leads with Dugong, as always. I don't have Rock Slide, I go for Thunderbolt, and we get a crit. That's one down. Now, we don't one-shot Cloyster, which is bad, but it goes for a retroactive Super Potion, so we do knock it out. That's not great. Thunderbolt, Slowbro goes for Water Gun, only does about 40 damage, that's fine. We need to one-shot Jinx. We do with Earthquake, and okay, a lot of bad there. So just to kind of clarify the uh-ohs, we don't do half. We do just under half, it looks like. Blizzard does a ton of damage, and I thought it was going to knock me out. And we need a critical hit, so this doesn't look super consistent. All right, well, if we have to do this again, that could be really bad. So hopefully we win. All right, Bruno, okay, this is going to be too difficult. Ice Beam, one shot. Earthquake, two shot. Well, that's not a two shot. We knock out Hitmonlee as well. We knock out Onix with Earthquake, and Machamp might be a 2-hit KO. It is, but Fissure can't hit me because I'm faster, which is why in the speedrun they need to use X speed. Anyway, I use an Elixir, and now I need to outspeed the Gengars, but I have a pretty good feeling I'm going to. Let's see. So, Gengar number 1, yeah, we outspeed. I don't know if we'll one-shot Golbat. We don't. Super Potion is great. That's 2 down. We level up to 60. And now Earthquake is going to knock out the rest of Agatha's Pokemon. Very rarely can I take a deep breath after Golbat, but that is the case. Now we battle Lance. The only Pokemon I'm worried about are Gyarados and Aerodactyl. And I think we one-shot Gyarados with Thunderbolt. Let's see. So here's Gyarados. Yep. And the Dragonair, by the way, only can go for Agility because I'm Poison type. Quote-unquote good AI at its finest. Aerodactyl does outspeed and hits me with Takedown. It does 50 damage, but we one-shot with Ice Beam, and we actually outspeed Dragonite one-shot with Ice Beam. So now we've made it back to Rival 7, the champion. We've beaten the rival pretty consistently until the last battle, which is a bad sign because it's the one most similar to this. But I have one more rare candy, and I got nothing else I can do, so let's go and see if we get a first try victory. All right, he leads with Pidgeot. I go for Thunderbolt because I'm running out of Ice Beams, forgot to use the Elixir, and we get a Paralysis, and it doesn't attack, which is pretty good. Then I use Ice Beam accidentally and knock it out. Next comes out Alakazam. Do we outspeed? We do. Do we one-shot? We do. That was really good. That was one of the Pokemon I was worried about. Rhydon is next. I go for Ice Beam. We don't one-shot. It goes for Leer. That ups my stats a little bit. I go for Body Slam and knock it out. I don't know why I kept it, but at least we used it. I go for Earthquake against Arcanine, and I do knock it out. I don't think Executor is going to be a 1-hit KO. I use Ice Beam. It crits, and it still doesn't one-shot. It goes for Hypnosis because I am Poison type, and now we're in trouble. Barrage misses turn 1. Turn 2, I'm still asleep. Barrage hits 5 times. That's not good. Now I'm still asleep. Barrage hits 2 more times. Still asleep. Barrage hits 3 times. I wake up and stomp. Whoa! I'm at 21 HP. I go for Body Slam, but we lose. 25 HP. We level up. GG. I go for Thunderbolt. Oh my god. What a ridiculous run. No, come on. That was... I'm not going to reset. We won. But that was really, really silly. Well, that makes it hard for me to rank Nidoking because in terms of level, 63 is pretty good. In terms of time, 319 is really good. But there were some really lucky moments against Lapras and then against the Blastoise. So what do I do here? Now, it's a really tough call, but I've always been consistent that when one Pokemon has a good matchup versus Brock and the other a bad, tiebreaker goes to the one with the bad matchup. So, I'm going to put it ahead of Hypno, but below Gengar, because no way should it go above Gengar. And so, it does sneak into the top 5, but it is definitely not better than Blastoise. If given the choice between the two, I would say Blastoise is definitely more consistent, and if we were to do attempts again and again, Blastoise would by far have a better time because there are far more sections where I think Nidoking could benefit from an extra level and battling some extra trainers. Blastoise simply didn't need to do that. Now, if Nidoking could learn Swords Dance, it would have competed with Alakazam, but unfortunately, it can't. So, it's going to be ranked 5th overall. Great ranking. Very proud of Nidoking. But you want to hear something funny? I think Nidoqueen might actually be better. I think it has a better matchup against Brock. And even though its attack is lower, in this game, its special is identical to Nidoking. In later games, it would get better special defense with Nidoking getting better special attack. But here, they're both base 75. I actually think Nidoqueen in this generation is better than Nidoking. I kind of want to do that run next, but it's going to be so similar. And I didn't want to put them in one video. So we'll have to see if Nidoqueen is indeed better. Until then, though, I'm going to make some more videos. Take care, everyone.